August 30th, 1940. 20,000 feet above southern England. The sky is crowded with aircraft. Silver shapes cut through cloud and sunlight. Messerschmitt Bf 109s in tight formation. Below them, the green patchwork of Kent. The heart of Britain. Inside a Hawker Hurricane, sweat runs into a pilot's eyes. The engine vibrates violently. The radio crackles with clipped English commands. The pilot does not reply. His name is Flight Lieutenant Josef Frantisek. He speaks little English, but he understands one thing perfectly. The enemy is in front of him. Suddenly he breaks formation. His Hurricane dives straight into the German fighters. Too fast, too aggressive, too reckless. A Messerschmitt fills his gun sight. 8 Browning machine guns erupt. Tracer rounds tear through aluminum and glass. The German aircraft bursts into flame. It spirals down toward the fields of England. Frantisek does not celebrate. He does not slow down. He climbs again, already hunting the next target. This is not a British pilot style. This is something else. Something the Luftwaffe has not prepared for. Before we continue, if you value real World War II stories, stories of forgotten heroes and impossible odds, subscribe to this channel, because history did not survive by accident. And neither did these men. At September 1939, Poland disappears. In just 5 weeks, Germany and the Soviet Union crush it from west and east. The Polish Air Force fights bravely, but it is outnumbered, outgunned, overwhelmed, airfields bombed, fuel depots destroyed, pilots forced to flee. Some escape through Romania, others through Hungary. Many walk for days. They carry no flags, no uniforms, only experience and rage. By the summer of 1940, they arrive in France. France falls in 6 weeks. Again, they flee by sea, by fishing boats, by cargo ships. They reach Britain, the last country standing between Hitler and total victory. At July 1940, the Luftwaffe prepares Operation Adlerangriff, the air assault to destroy the Royal Air Force. Hitler's plan is simple. Destroy RAF Fighter Command. Gain air superiority. Invade Britain. The RAF is exhausted. Short on pilots. Short on aircraft. Short on time. Every trained pilot matters. But there is a problem. The Polish pilots. British officers are cautious. The Poles speak poor English. They fly differently. They challenge orders. Some British commanders believe they are brave, but undisciplined. They lack modern training. They will break formation. The Poles, meanwhile, are furious. They have already fought the Luftwaffe and survived. They know German tactics. They recognize German formations instantly, and they carry something British pilots do not. Experience of defeat. They have lost their country, their families, their homes. This is not a war to them. This is revenge. By August 1940, RAF Nordholt, near London. The RAF reluctantly authorizes an experimental unit. Number 303 Polish Fighter Squadron. Aircraft. Hawker Hurricanes armed with 8.303 Browning machine guns. Commander. Squadron Leader Ronald Kellett, RAF. Polish Leader. Flight Lieutenant Witold Urbanowicz. Training is tense. Language barriers slow everything. Hand signals replace words. Arguments erupt. British instructors complain. The Poles ignore standard tactics. They break formation. They chase kills. The RAF fears disaster. Then something happens. During a training flight, a German reconnaissance aircraft crosses the coast. It is not supposed to be engaged. The Poles see it. They do not ask permission. They attack. The German aircraft escapes. But the message is clear. These men will not wait. By late August 1940, the Luftwaffe is hitting Britain daily. Radar stations, airfields, aircraft factories. The RAF is losing pilots faster than it can replace them. Fighter Command Commander Air Chief Marshal Hugh Dowding faces an impossible equation. Lose the skies, lose Britain. Reluctantly, Number 303 Squadron is cleared for combat. They are given one chance. August 31st, 1940. The sirens sound. Radar screens light up. German bombers cross the channel. Escorted by fighters. Orders are given. 303 Squadron scramble. Engines roar. Hurricanes lift from the grass. The Polish pilots climb toward the sun. They have waited a year for this moment. And in the next minutes, they will shock the Luftwaffe and change the Battle of Britain forever. At August 31st, 1940, exactly 12:50 hours, the radio crackles. British controllers guide the formation toward the enemy. High above the English countryside, black dots grow larger. Dornier Do-17 bombers, escorted by Messerschmitt Bf 109s. Squadron leader Ronald Kellett gives the command. The Polish pilots do not hesitate. They break formation, not in panic, not in confusion, but with purpose. They dive straight through the German escorts. British doctrine demands discipline, tight formations, careful engagement. The Poles fly differently. They learned over Warsaw, over burning airfields. They attack close. They fire late. They aim to kill. Witold Urbanowicz picks his target. He closes to less than 200 yards. His guns roar. A Messerschmitt explodes in midair. Another Polish pilot, Jan Zumbach, follows. A Dornier's engine erupts in flame. The bomber loses altitude. Parachutes bloom. Within minutes, the sky belongs to the Poles. German radio traffic turns frantic. Escort leaders shout warnings. Formations dissolve. The Luftwaffe had studied British pilots. They had not studied these men. Polish pilots pursue relentlessly, ignoring return fire, ignoring fuel limits. They attack again and again. By the time the engagement ends, 303 Squadron claims 6 enemy aircraft destroyed. No losses. The RAF is stunned. RAF headquarters is skeptical. Claims are checked. Reports are questioned. Surely this is exaggeration. But wreckage is found. Burning aircraft dot the fields of Kent. German crews are captured. The kills are confirmed. Silence follows. The Luftwaffe escalates. Hundreds of bombers now cross the channel daily. Targets shift. RAF airfields. London docks. Civilian centers. The Poles are sent up again and again. They begin to develop a reputation. German pilots notice the markings. White and red checkerboards. Poland's national insignia. When they appear, the fighting becomes desperate. Josef Frantisek, not Polish by birth, Czech by nationality, but he flies with the Poles. He refuses formation flying. Instead, he hunts alone. RAF commanders protest. They threaten discipline. But Frantisek keeps returning. With victories, 17 confirmed kills in just 28 days. The highest-scoring Allied ace of the Battle of Britain, Witold Urbanowicz. He leads from the front. He studies German tactics, exploits hesitation. 15 confirmed victories. Jan Zumbach, aggressive, fearless, and unyielding. He attacks bombers head-on. The most dangerous approach. Reports from other squadrons spread. Polish pilots are requested. British pilots begin flying with them, learning their methods. Air Vice Marshal Keith Park takes notice. So does Winston Churchill. Loss ratios shift. The Luftwaffe bleeds. Captured Luftwaffe pilots speak of madmen in hurricanes, pilots who do not break off, men who fly like they have nothing to lose. They are not wrong. The Poles have already lost everything. By September 7, 1940, the Luftwaffe changes strategy. They turn toward London. The Blitz begins. For the Polish pilots, the skies grow darker. The battles grow larger. The stakes grow higher. And soon, they will face the greatest test of all. September 7, 1940. Late afternoon. Radar stations track a force unlike anything seen before. Hundreds of aircraft. Bombers in layered waves. Fighters stacked above them. The target is no longer RAF airfields. It is London. Sirens wail across the capital. Factories shut down. Children are rushed underground. Anti-aircraft guns rise skyward. The Luftwaffe believes this will break Britain's will. They believe the RAF is nearly finished. But they are wrong. At RAF Nordholt, engines scream to life. Number 303 Squadron lifts into the air. The Polish pilots climb hard. Below them, smoke already rises from the docks. The Thames twists through the city like a scar. Urbanowicz studies the sky. He knows this moment. This is not a raid. This is a statement. Above London, the sky fractures. Contrails slice the air. Tracer fire arcs between aircraft. The noise is constant. The Polish pilots dive from above. They ignore the escorts. They go straight for the bombers. Hurricanes rush into defensive fire. Bullets rip through wings and fuselages. But the Poles do not pull away. They close to point-blank range. Urbanowicz fires. A Heinkel He-111 shudders. His nose collapses inward. It rolls slowly, then falls toward the city it was meant to destroy. Another bomber ignites. Then another. German formations collapse. Bombs scatter wildly. Frantisek has already broken away. He stalks the edges of the fight, watching and waiting. A damaged bomber straggles behind. Frantisek dives. His guns chatter. The bomber bursts apart. He climbs again. Another target. Another kill. British controllers try to call him back. He does not answer. He keeps flying. By nightfall, German losses are severe. British intelligence begins compiling numbers. 303 Squadron is now the highest-scoring unit in fighter command. In just weeks, they account for more confirmed kills than any other squadron. And they are flying fewer aircraft. The Luftwaffe adjusts tactics. Escort fighters are ordered to stay closer. Bombers tighten formations. But fear has entered the cockpit. Polish voices are recognized on the radio. When they appear, German pilots disengage faster. Some jettison bombs early. The psychological edge shifts. Victory is not free. Hurricanes return riddled with holes. Pilots collapse from exhaustion. Some do not return. By September 11, 1940, Josef Frantisek crashes during a training flight. The cause is unclear. Fatigue, weather and stress. He is 26 years old. The most lethal Allied pilot of the battle. The squadron is silent. They have lost a brother. Between missions, the Polish pilots write letters. Many cannot send them. They drink together. They remember Poland. Cities destroyed. Families missing. They know they may never go home. Yet each morning, they climb back into their aircraft. By mid-September, the Luftwaffe is failing to achieve air superiority. RAF losses stabilize. German losses rise. Hitler postpones Operation Sea Lion, the invasion of Britain. The decision is quiet, but it is decisive. The air war is lost. The Polish pilots have done the impossible. Exiles, refugees, men without a country, they helped save one. And the war is far from over. The skies over Britain grow quieter. Daylight raids diminish. Fighter command finally breathes. For the first time since the fall of France, Britain has survived. In the aftermath, numbers are reviewed. Losses calculated. Claims verified. One fact becomes impossible to ignore. Number 303 Polish Squadron is the top-scoring fighter squadron of the Battle of Britain. They achieved it in just 6 weeks. Prime Minister Winston Churchill studies the reports. He had spoken famously of the few. Now he understands who many of them were. Polish names appear again and again. Urbanowicz, Zumbach, Frantisek. Churchill later remarks, "Without the Polish squadrons and their magnificent gallantry, I hesitate to say that the outcome of the Battle of Britain would have been the same. It is not flattery. It is fact. Doubt evaporates. British officers who once resisted them now defend them. Polish tactics are studied. Their aggression once criticized is now praised." By 1941, 14 Polish squadrons operate within the RAF. Not just fighters, bombers, reconnaissance, coastal command. Polish pilots fly Hurricanes, Spitfires, Lancasters across Europe. The Polish airmen fight everywhere. Over occupied France, over Germany, Over the North Sea, they escort bombers deep into enemy territory. Losses mount. Each mission costs lives. Still they fly, because Poland is still occupied. At 1945, Germany is defeated. Europe celebrates. But Poland is not free. At Yalta, borders are redrawn. Poland falls under Soviet control. The government in exile is sidelined. The men who fought for Britain are no longer welcome home. Victory parades fill London. But the Polish pilots are absent. They are quietly discouraged from attending. Diplomacy demands silence. The Soviet Union is now an ally. Poland's sacrifice is inconvenient. For many Polish veterans, returning home means arrest, interrogation, prison. Some disappear. Others remain in exile. Many Polish pilots stay in Britain. They become factory workers, taxi drivers, laborers. Men who once ruled the skies now struggle in silence. Their medals remain in drawers. Their stories go untold. Years pass. Decades. Slowly, recognition returns. Memorials are raised. Names engraved in stone. The Polish War Memorial at RAF Nordholt stands where hurricanes once launched. Every name tells the same story. They fought when others could not. They stayed when retreat was easier. They gave everything. They saved Britain. But history did not save them. And yet, their legacy still flies. In every clear sky over England, the airfields are silent now. Grass grows where hurricanes once waited. The same sky where lives were decided in seconds. Looks peaceful. But memory does not fade as easily as sound. In the summer of 1940, Britain stood alone. The margin between survival and defeat was measured in minutes. In those minutes, foreign voices filled British radios. Men without a country defended a country that was not yet theirs. They did not fight for medals. They did not fight for recognition. They fought because they had already lost everything. Polish pilots made up less than 5% of RAF fighter command. They accounted for over 12% of confirmed enemy kills. Number 303 Squadron alone destroyed more aircraft than any other Allied unit in the battle. These are not myths. They are records. Witold Urbanowicz, who led by example, not command. Jan Zumbach, who attacked head-on when others hesitated. Josef Frantisek, who flew like tomorrow did not exist. They were not perfect. They were human. That is what made them unstoppable. Heroism is often imagined as sacrifice at the moment of death. But there is another kind. The heroism of survival of exile. Of living with victory that feels like loss. Many Polish pilots died far from home. Others lived long enough to see history forget them. Britain remembers the Battle of Britain as a miracle. But miracles are made by people. Some speak with accents. Some fly differently. Some do not follow the rules, and sometimes they are the ones who save the day. Every year, veterans gather at RAF Nordholt. Wreaths are laid. Names are spoken aloud. The wind moves through the trees. And above, aircraft still pass through the sky. The Luftwaffe came to conquer. The Polish pilots came to survive. One came with numbers. The other came with fire. And when the smoke cleared, it was not the empire that saved Britain. It was the exiles. History remembers nations, but the sky remembers pilots. And in the summer of 1940, the sky belonged to Poland.